for the hearing impaired. You're watching Channel 13, KTRK-TV Houston, #1 in Texas. Eyewitness News with Alan Hemberger and Debbie Johnson. Tim Melton has sports and the 7-day forecast with Frank Billingsley. Now, Channel 13, Eyewitness News tonight.
Good evening, everyone. 32 hours from now, Houstonians will cast their ballot in what's shaping up to be one of the most heated mayoral races in 8 years.
But what if the election were held tomorrow? Who would voters support? If the results of a 13 Eyewitness News mayoral poll is any indication, Kathy Whitmire would be re-elected. Here's our Don Kobos with more.
Kathy Whitmire has held the mayor's job in Houston for almost 8 years. And during that time, she and her administration have experienced one of the most turbulent times in the city's history because of the oil crisis. And city services and even a tax increase have dominated her 8 years. However, a recent Eyewitness News mayoral poll indicates that almost 2/3 of the 466 registered Houston voters questioned rate the mayor's job performance as excellent or good. The results of this poll, which has a 5% margin of error, shows that Whitmire has gained more support over her performance since the last eyewitness poll taken only a month ago in early October. The results of the next question just reinforce Whitmire on this, her 4th re-election bid. If the election were held tomorrow, which candidate would you vote for? 59% said Kathy Whitmire, but only 15% chose challenger Fred Hoffines. What's significant is the increase in votes which Whitmire experienced since the October phone survey and the fact that Hoffines lost ground.
I can only say to you, I'm truly sorry for the problems my actions have caused each of you.
The recent racial slurs made by Councilman Jim Westmoreland have fueled this race and may be one reason, according to this poll, why Whitmire has lost support from black voters. During the live debate on Channel 13 last Monday, Whitmire refused to call for Westmoreland's resignation, and Hoffines attacked her for that.
Stand up and be the mayor and tell the people of Houston that Jim Westmoreland should resign.
The minority breakdown indicates that Whitmire lost 7% of her black support since October, while Hoffines gained 9%. Yet she still dominates this black minority vote. However, what Whitmire lost with blacks, she almost doubled her gain in Hispanic voters. Whitmire gained substantially since October with Hispanics, according to those who were questioned. Meanwhile, Hoffines lost support in this minority category. On Monday, we'll go one step further and see how the public perceived the campaigns of each candidate. In particular, we'll see how they felt about the issues raised by both Kathy Whitmire and Fred Hoffines in this race. Don Kobos, 13 Eyewitness News.
Well, this is the final Sunday for the 2 major mayoral candidates to stump for votes before Election Day. And as our Deborah Wrigley reports, the candidates went in different directions when they hit the campaign trail.
Election Day minus 48 hours and counting. Signs of the impending showdown are everywhere, including some unlikely locations. It's all part of the last-minute sell. While volunteers were busy out of camera range, the mayor restricted her public schedule. She visited one church, one her father sometimes attends. In terms of exposure, though, Lakewood Church can deliver it. The service is broadcast on several Houston television stations and beamed around the nation. The message the mayor was preaching against today: overconfidence.
To make sure we get the vote out, make sure that we contact all of our voters and remind them that this is the day that they have a chance to voice their views on Houston's future. And so my goal is to encourage everyone to vote and make sure that this is the largest turnout we've ever had.
Once more, Hoffines is trying to recapture the electorate that helped him win office a dozen years ago. There's talk his immediate call on Councilman Jim Westmoreland to resign won him a few points of black support. He's now challenging Whitmire on the police freeway shooting incident.
Now, things like that happened when I was the mayor, and I was the first person to jump out in front and to say, oh, I'm sorry about this, and anguish about it, and say all of the things that needed to be said by a leader. Because that's what a leader does.
Hoffines is lagging in the polls. He has been since summer, but that this crowd, he urged faith in a come-from-behind victory. If that's the case, he has 24 hours to perform what the polls would call a miracle. Deborah Wrigley, 13 Eyewitness News.
A busy day as well for the candidates in the race to fill the Mickey Leland's congressional seat. 2 of the leading candidates visited several churches this morning, trying to pick up some last-minute votes. Anthony Hall says he will take money from the nation's defense programs to help fight the drug problem. For Craig Washington, the #1 problem is leadership. He says his leadership style separates him from the other candidates in the race. Ron Wilson was also busy today, drumming up support for his campaign. Meanwhile, two of the so-called second-tier candidates haven't given up hope. Byron Johnson and Shirley Fobbs say they plan to continue campaigning on the issues they believe in, despite the huge odds against them earning a victory in Tuesday's election. Altogether, there are 11 candidates in the race to succeed the late Mickey Leland. Now, once again, Election Day is this Tuesday. If you have any question about where you should vote, just call your county clerk's office for your precinct number and voting site.
In other political news, President Bush says he's going to stand by his man, Dan Quayle, and keep him on the 1992 Republican presidential ticket. The president told a Dallas paper he would run for re-election in 1992, and Vice President Dan Quayle would be on the ticket. Quayle said he was pleased but not surprised that the president planned to keep the 1988 GOP ticket intact. In that same Dallas article, the president criticized a recent racial slur by Houston City Council member Jim Westmoreland. He called it, quote, unacceptable, unconscionable bigotry, unquote.
Still to come here tonight, we'll have an update on the woman who held her son captive at knife point for 14 hours.
And a night of glamour in downtown Houston gets the added sparkle of a duchess.
You have to drive it to believe it. The new Accord. Exclusively at your Houston Metro Honda dealers.
Sunday night at 10:30. When you lynch a man, you better hang him right and hang him high.
Pick up the badge, Mr. Cooper. Pick up the badge, or leave justice to me and my men.
When you hang a man, you better look at him. They're gonna get what's coming to them. They'll get what the law says is coming to them.
You make sure the rest of those men get back here alive.
Clint Eastwood won't settle for anything less than revenge in Hang 'em High, Sunday night at 10:30 here on 13.
When Bill Thompson heard that Team Bank had over $5 billion in assets, he thought he'd drop in and see if he could borrow some of it. We're happy to say he made the team.
Between love and madness lies obsession. Calvin Klein's obsession.
Now your gift with any $35 obsession purchase at Foley's.
A giant precision demolition machine has arrived tonight at the Phillips plant in Pasadena in order to help find 4 men still missing since the blast. Search efforts have been stalled because it's been virtually impossible to enter the heavily damaged finishing building. The special machinery will sever the building's top floors, allowing crews to search the lower levels for the missing men. Also tomorrow, a congressional hearing will begin to look into the Phillips explosion. 19 people were killed in that blast.
The skeletal remains of a 20-year-old black female have been transferred to the county morgue tonight after a jogger made that grim discovery this afternoon. The bones were found in a wooded area along Brays Bayou near the intersection of Alameda and South McGregor. Officials say the remains had been there at least 6 months and tonight are trying to determine the cause of death and identity of the victim.
The woman who held her 15-month-old child hostage at knife point Friday night is undergoing psychiatric evaluation tonight. 24-year-old Tracy Levis held her son captive for 14 hours before police stormed her car and rescued the toddler early Saturday morning. She's been charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault, 1 count of injury to a child. The young boy is in control of Harris County Children's Protective Services, but is staying with his grandparents.
The Duchess of York received the royal treatment tonight at the Wortham Theater. It was the perfect ending to a day that started off wet and soggy. Our Cynthia Cisneros was among the royal watchers and has this report.
With her hair swept up, Fergie looked pretty in pink. There was a lapse in the royal itinerary when Her Royal Highness stopped to greet and take some flowers from a little girl. The crowd gasped when Sarah, who looked a little tired, waved and smiled. She then turned and headed inside for the start of the opera. Both American and British national anthems were played before the performance, but not all the royal activity went smooth today. A polo match between British and Houston teams was almost rained out. Sarah braved a pretty stubborn rain shower as she presented loving cups to the winning polo team. Her father, Major Ronald Ferguson, who is also the polo manager of Prince Charles, led the British team. Our own Bob Boudreau did the announcing honors. The polo crowd overall seemed eager to meet the Duchess.
Well, I'm really out here to see the polo. So I've seen so much of Fergie on the news in the last week and in the paper. So I think that I am well aware of everything that is going on with her.
We usually come every weekend, but of course this is a real treat to have Fergie and the British here to play.
Well, I came to see Fergie, really. I've always been a big fan of hers and feel like that this may be the only opportunity I'll ever have to see her.
All the pomp and circumstance should last at least one more day. On Monday, Fergie will visit an elementary school here in Houston, and then it's off to the airport where she will start her journey home. Cynthia Cisneros, 13 Eyewitness News.
Well, it wasn't easy, but the Oilers got a good start to a long homestand.
That's right. Tim Melton's going to bring us up to date with the Oilers taming the Lions next in sports.
The front-wheel drive Chevrolet Beretta GT. Engineered and equipped to easily handle the road. Priced to let you easily handle it. Beretta GT. Nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America.
May we offer you some dessert?
No, thanks. Really, this grilled sourdough burger's just fine.
Well, after you finish with that juicy burger on golden grilled sourdough, how about a little cheesecake?
That sounds great, but I've got my grilled sourdough burger and my Coke and my fries. I'm a happy man.
But now at Jack in the Box, you can get free cheesecake. When you buy a grilled sourdough burger, Coke, and fries, the cheesecake's free.
Like I said, there's always room for a little dessert.
This morning, Jennifer Michaels won't care that her breakfast was prepared in a state-of-the-art electric kitchen. Nor will the Michaels children notice the abundance of hot water 4 showers later. And tonight, no one will comment on how their heat pump is the most efficient way to heat and cool their home. But someday, the Michaels children will realize their parents had the good sense to buy the most energy-efficient home on the market. The Good Sense Home, saving you money like no other home can.
Well, no complaints about the Oilers today, although I don't know, Tim could probably dream up one or two.
We seem to do that, don't they? Yes. When they lose to team, we complain. Right. And when they don't win the way we think they should win, we complain. But watching the Cowboys against the Redskins tonight, maybe we shouldn't complain anymore. It can happen to anybody. But our biggest complaint about the Oilers this year has been when they lose to teams that they shouldn't lose to. Today, they shouldn't have lost to the Lions, and guess what? They did not. They beat the Lions 35-31. But it took an outstanding effort from Warren Moon and the guys on the offensive side of the football to turn the trick. Jeff McShann reports the start of a 3-game homestand begins with a win.
The Oilers defense found out early it was not going to be easy to tame the Lions. On the very first play from scrimmage, Rodney Peete went to the air, a 47-yard completion. 8 plays later, Barry Sanders scored, and just like that, Detroit led 7-0. After an Oiler fumble, Detroit went up 14-7 when the rookie threw to Robert Clark. The 1-7 Lions having no trouble moving the football.
Rodney Peete's a great competitor. The little receivers they have are great, quick, fast guys, and they caught some balls, caught a few balls on me today.
Houston down 17-14 in intermission, put themselves in a deeper hole on the very first play in the third. Mike Rozier's fumble enabled the underdogs to score again and lead by 10.
I thought if we could get ahead that we could go on and win it, but we had to go ahead, and then we turned around and gave the ball up.
Leading the orders back, Warren Moon. He was simply outstanding.
But today I got into a groove, and when a quarterback gets into a groove like that, you just want to keep throwing it and keep throwing it as long as you're making your reads and getting the protection up front.
Moon completed passes to 7 different receivers. This one to Ernest Givens, pulling Houston to within 3, 24-21.
We've been running the ball a great deal the last couple of weeks, but today we wanted to come out and show the people that, hey, we can throw the ball aggressively and score with it.
On the next series, Moon led Houston 78 yards on 12 plays, capping it off with a 7-yard completion to Drew Hill. And when he wasn't throwing it in, he took it in himself. The orders were up by 11, 35-24 with 3 minutes left. But the game wasn't over. After Barry Sanders scored on the draw to make it 35-31, the orders decided to give the Lions one last chance. With 1:16 left, Curtis Duncan fumbles it away, and Detroit had new luck.
You know, it was tough. I mean, you know, I tried my best. I went back to the sideline. I was sorry.
Facing a 3rd down and 7 at the Houston 47, Rodney Peete went to the air again. He was looking for Clark, but Patrick Allen was there. He tipped the ball up, and Tracy Eaton picked it off. The orders survived 35-31.
It wasn't pretty, it was close, but hell, in this league, you know, a W's a W.
At the Dome, Jeff McShann, 13 Eyewitness Sports.
Okay, Jeff, Cleveland led Tampa Bay 14-7 today when the defense broke the game open. Vinny Testaverde's pass tipped. Felix Wright picks it off, goes 27 the other way. 21-7 Cleveland. Very next time Tampa Bay has the ball, Vinny throws it to Thane Gash. 15 yards, another score, 28-7. Final touch added by Eric Metcalf. 238 all-purpose yards today, including 2 scores. This one on a 43-yard ramble through the secondary. 42-31 Browns. Oilers get the Bengals next Monday. Today, the Raiders got him. They bruised the lung of Boomer Esiason. He was gone. Bo Jackson, another brilliant afternoon. How about this one? 92 yards for the score, 13 carries, 159 yards for Bo, 28-7. Bengals a loser. On the scoreboard, Pittsburgh gets knocked off by Denver. Atlanta 30-28 over Buffalo. Miami knocks off the Colts. In overtime, Minnesota defeats the Rams. Jets 27-26 over New England. Kansas City by 10 over the Seahawks. Giants knock off the Cardinals, and San Diego a field goal winner over Philadelphia. In Green Bay today, Pack trailed the Bears 13-6, 41 seconds left. Pack faces a 4th and goal at the 14 of Chicago. Now remember, the line of scrimmage is the 14. Don Majkowski is going to start scramble. He looks for a receiver. He's running toward the line of scrimmage when he spots and hits Sterling Sharp for the TD. But the official rules, he was past the 14 when he threw the ball. Loss of down, no TD, ball over to the Bears. But wait, the replay official wants to take another look, and the replay shows Majkowski leaves the ground at the 15. Legal pass. Call overruled. Touchdown Packers, 14-13. Green Bay a winner. In Minnesota, the Vikings, Rich Karlis kicked 7 field goals. The last one with 12 seconds left to tie an NFL record. Send the game with the Rams into OT, tied at 21. Then in OT, Rams try to punt, but Mike Merriweather gets the block. The Vikings get a game-winning safety, 23-21. It's now over in Washington. The Cowboys have won their first game of the year. Knock off the Redskins. It was tied at 3 when Paul Palmer went 46 yards to the Skins 7, and then from the 2, Palmer will finish it off, and the Cowboys finish off the Skins 13-3. Finally tonight, a couple of things you may have missed this weekend, and we'd hate to think that you did. First of all, a punter is taught to hit the ground anytime he even thinks he might get a roughing the kicker call. But what if he forgets? Take a look at the Auburn punter in the game with Georgia last night. He gets hit, he forgets, then he remembers. Oh, but they didn't give it to him. In Green Bay, we've already shown you how exciting the end of the game was. It was the kind of game you want to tell folks about, and this guy couldn't wait. He pulled out the cellular. And finally, yesterday's great race between Sunday Silence and Easy Goer. This was Sunday Silence owner Arthur Hancock and the wife as they watched the finish. Silence was leading, but Easy Goer was closing. Hancock went to his knees. You can tell when Sunday Silence crosses the finish line as a winner, for Arthur's eyes turned toward the heavens. And the New York City Marathon was won by Tanzania's Yuma Ikanga in the course record time of 2:08:01 today, besting Alberto Salazar's mark by 12 seconds. The women's winner was Ingrid Christensen of Norway, who missed Allison Rowe's mark by 1 second. 2 Americans finished second, Ken Martin and Kim Jones. Again, the Oilers win. Nobody had to fake anything. They won it by 4.
How about those Cowboys, though?
13-3. How about those Skins? And Joe Gibbs has some questions to answer tonight.
Exactly right. 3 points. Jeez.
Thank you, Tim. Well, you may need to pull out your raincoat for the next couple of days.
We'll find out what Frank has to say with his 7-day forecast when we come back.
Right now, during Isuzu's Take It to the Bank sale, generous factory cash is helping people save big bucks that they can take straight to the bank.
I
Hi, I'd like to make a deposit. I love this bank. You never have to wait in line.
Right now, you could save big bucks on the Isuzu pickup during our Take It to the Bank sale.
Expect more from Houston's leading information source, the Chronicle. More sports coverage, more arts and entertainment, the city's largest news staff and only metropolitan section, more local business, and the state's top-selling classified. The biggest newspaper in Texas has to be the best. Call now for delivery tomorrow morning, 220-7211.
Ready for this? I have a friend in France who'll put you up at his chateau.
Listen, old boy, I know this chap in London who can get you in to see the Queen.
Yan Xing and I go way back. He'll send you a Ming vase straight from China.
It's the best restaurant in Milan. Just use my name and it's manja all the way, huh?
No one else has better connections overseas. AT&T International Long Distance.
Presenting the 1990 Mitsubishi Mighty Max. This new Mighty Max gives you more power and more standard equipment than any other pickup in its class. You'll have to be awfully loyal to your old truck not to get into the new Mitsubishi Mighty Max.
Factory-to-dealer incentives could save you up to $1,000 at your Houston area Mitsubishi Motors dealer.
A lot of things going on next week, including Election Day. On Tuesday, Frank's going to tell us about the weather.
We may get a break Election Day, as a matter of fact, but elsewhere it looks kind of wet. We were just trying to make Fergie feel at home.
Right, exactly.
With all this cloudy weather this weekend. It's going to continue into tomorrow, too. First of all, tonight's weather sponsored by Texas Commerce Bank, and that includes the 7-day forecast. Here's a look at the radar loop, and this takes us all the way up to what we have currently, starting out with very heavy showers about news time at 6 o'clock. Moving through Liberty and Hardin County, but they moved on off, and now we have this second swath of rain stretching from Victoria to about Hobby Airport. So the rain's certainly not over for tonight, and I don't think over for tomorrow as well. Satellite picture, it looks like this across Texas, and we'll put into motion for you. You can see the showers moving into the area with the very heavy white clouds. There are really two impulses, if you will, to this system. This is an upper-level disturbance that's been moving out of Mexico. The first main system that moved through this afternoon is now in Louisiana, but there is a second impulse now in extreme southern Texas, and that is heading our way, and we'll probably continue showers on into tonight as well as into tomorrow. The big picture looks like this then. We'll put it in to color enhance it here, and you can see where the showers continue from Louisiana right on down toward the Brownsville area. Also showers along this frontal system stretching from Arkansas right on back into parts of Michigan. This low pressure fairly active with snow showers as well as rain showers moving on into New England from the Great Lakes. But these rains, I think, will last through tomorrow and then clear a bit by Election Day as high pressure tries to build in. We should be in fairly good shape, at least for Tuesday, but then Wednesday, another rain chance. Looks like it is certainly a possibility. Here are the numbers that we picked up today. A low of 69 degrees at 3 o'clock in the morning. The high was 83. At Intercontinental, 0.44 inches of rain. Here at the station, 0.2 inches of rain. Currently, Intercontinental 74. We're at 73. Hobby's at 74. 93% the humidity. Winds are out of the south at 13, and the pressure is going up, but just a tad, now at 29.98. 7 days then look like this for tomorrow. Look for a high of 82 and a low of 68 under generally cloudy skies, and I think we're going to have about a 20 to 30% chance of a few showers. This system is trying to lift out of here, and on Tuesday it may do that just enough to give us a break from any rain, so that we're looking at very small rain chances, but probably some partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a little trough of low pressure and this frontal system fairly close to us. We can't say it's going to be beautifully sunny because it's not, but it should be fairly dry. Temperatures 83 and 68. For Wednesday then, another chance of rain, at least at 20% there. This system trying to move through. Temperatures up around 80 for highs and 58 for lows. For Thursday, 76 and 55. There's the front. It's finally moving through. Thursday, still a little chance of rain. It should be out of here, though, by Friday as high pressure builds. So going into next weekend, looks like it will be fairly nice. Temperatures also cool down a bit with lows right around 48 and highs around 68. Some cooler air trying to slide in here. This system will generally stay to our north so that Saturday we're under the influence again of high pressure, sunshine for much of the nation. In fact, just a little cloudiness along the east coast and some snow well to our north. Sunday, much the same situation. The system to our north holding stationary, will be under sunny skies, 72 and 52. In the meantime, Galveston Bay tomorrow will be slightly choppy. Winds will be out of the south at 10 to 15 knots, 3 to 5 foot seas a little further out. The next 3 days shape up like this. Cloudy skies for Monday, partly cloudy Tuesday, Wednesday cloudy. Temperatures in the 60s and 80s. Rain chances at about 20 to 30% Monday and Wednesday. Maybe Tuesday, go out and vote. We should have a fairly dry one. We'll be back with more news right after this.
Jack Barrage was an entrepreneur with an ingenious idea. With that idea and a small equipment loan from Texas Commerce Bank, he built Barrage Manufacturing into a very successful pre-finished metal products company. For a growing company, the right bank is as important as the right idea.
KTRH News Radio 740 AM.
The only way to travel is Cadillac style. Some people want more, not just a little bit.
The Cadillac Brougham, an American classic, now distinctively restyled and with sophisticated anti-lock brakes standard. Brougham, the longest production car in America, remains America's personal limousine.
Cadillac style.
See your Gulf Coast Cadillac dealers.
Finally this evening, south of El Paso, some cooks were mixing up mouth-watering and nose-running recipes. This spicy celebration was the 23rd annual Terlingua International Chili Cook-Off Contest. 205 chefs from all across the country entered their saucy beef and bean concoctions. The winner was Barbara Benton, and they named her creation Yahoo Chili. Her prize, a 50-pound trophy in the shape of a chili pepper. And by the way, at day's end, samples of antacid were passed out to all the chili tasters. That's okay, as long as none of the chili tasters passed out. That's all that's important.
Wasn't Barbara Benton one of Hugh Hefner's paramours at one time?
Well, they don't say where Barbara Benton's from. I'm not sure if it's the same Barbara Benton.
Gone from Playboy to Yahoo Chili.
Moving up in
Here's
the world,
a step up for you.
That's our report, everyone. Have a great week.
We'll see you.
My philosophy is simple. Family, country, community. Serve them on the City Council or in the Congress of the United States. If you will pass Mickey Leland's torch to me, I'll work to keep it shining in the war on drugs, for a more humane government, for better schools and jobs and equality. And I'll never do anything to dim its glow.
Leonel Castillo was elected controller 3 times and brought a AAA bond rating to Houston. Castillo is the city council candidate with a plan to take back the streets and bring back good times. Castillo has the guts and the spirit to tackle tough issues. Castillo is respected. He can work with others to get things done. Leonel Castillo, City Council at Large.
This year I was elected president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, something I'm proud of. But I'm really proud of Houston for leading Texas out of the economic recession. And now I want Houston to lead the nation in winning the war against crack cocaine. Because if there's any city that has what it takes to win, it's Houston. Together, we can get the job done. And on November 7th, I need your vote for Houston's future.